Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Am I audible? Okay. Brothers, are you able to speak back? I mean, I would like this to be an interactive session. So if the brothers can speak, I think that will be good. All right, let me see if I can. Okay, mashallah, we have like around 100 participants. Um, I just want to get a feel of this batch. Like, can you? Okay, 1 minute. Let me see if I can enable this. Can you can you try now? Are you able to speak and to respond back?
Yes.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I want to know if how many of you are at basic level. Is this the first time you're using
Walaikum
Excel?
assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Is this the first time you're using Excel? Have you used it
Yes.
before or
No. Yes,
are
the
you
first time.
okay?
Yes, I have used it before.
Okay, I would like some of you to give me a feedback on what are your expectations from this level? Like, where do you see yourself? Like, what do you want? What do you want to use the Excel for? Can you share with me some examples? Did
Basically,
you
I'm
use
a
it?
doctor. So, to maintain patients' detail with name, age, and what medicine I had given. And in future, if I can search for it, then I can able to do that. And at the same time, the patient had particular height, weight. So for them, what is the height? So I want to put some one formula in one column so that I can get the result. And I can
Okay.
at the same time I have one formula for the expected result also. So like that.
Okay. Anyone else?
For
Okay.
example, for a
We
teacher
can.
or our mother to make a schedule for the day or for the week to use to put their lessons in order to not miss anything.
Okay. Now in the WhatsApp group, I think you would have received a practice file. Like, are you sitting in front of the computer right now, or I just want to understand how many people are here on a computer, how many are joining on a mobile phone or something. It would be ideal if you have a laptop or a computer where you can also do things simultaneously as we do the exercises. How many people here are on uh, a phone, mobile phone? 1 second. Let me see if I can have. There used to be an option of surveying here, get some responses, but I can't see it right now. Okay. have you received the demo file that we are going to practice today?
No, no, sir.
No, please.
Okay, I have computer with me. Okay, good. Okay, please check the WhatsApp groups, or let me try to share the file here. There is an option wherein notes, documents. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to share the document that I have. Okay, the admin has just shared with me that the file is available in the WhatsApp groups. So can you please download it? I'll give you another like 2-3 minutes to download the file. Now, for others who are not having this link or who are not able to download it from WhatsApp, I'm sharing a link in the Zoom in the chat here. You can use this link to download the practice file. In the mobile phones, it may not be useful because you will need to be on a computer to practice and do what you're doing. So I would recommend if you can, if you're on a computer, then it is better you download. If you're on a phone, I would advise you to just watch it. You can download it and practice it later when you're on a computer.
But we can download on Excel sheet in mobile.
You can download it, but I don't think you will be able to benefit or do the exercises as required on the mobile phone, because this will require you to be on a keyboard and type in the formulas. So what I recommend is you can look at this video. You can inshallah practice it later on based on the Excel file that we have. Can you give me a thumbs up if you have uh, like downloaded the file? Okay. All right, inshallah. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So we will get started with the Microsoft Excel file. This is a very popular program that is used across the world for data related activities, data tabulation. It's one of the most popular software for processing data. What we are going to see here is going to be specific to Microsoft Excel, but these concepts are similar. For example, if you're using Google Sheets, you have Open Docs. So all these are actually versions of Excel files, and they use the basic same concept of having a file in a cell in Excel file in rows and columns, and that data is then used and processed. We have a sheet which currently has a list of certain employees. We will be working on it, inshallah, now. So before we continue, like in the initial thing, have you got these files open in front of you in the computers? I would appreciate if you guys, interacting. So because I'm not seeing you, it would be good if you can give me a verbal response. It's difficult to read the chats. Brothers, if you're there, please, you can unmute and you can reply back.
Yes.
Yes, the file is open.
Okay, good. Now,
Yes.
let's start with the basics of this file, which is that any file, any Excel file will have multiple tabs at the top. This is called a ribbon. This ribbon has certain controls that are segregated based on category and classification, right? So, for example, let's look at what is available in the first ribbon. When we go into File, it shows us the options that we have with the file. For example, we can save this file as a copy. I would request you to save this file as our exercise file. Okay. Now, once you have done that, the other options that are popular is like if you want to have a print preview and other things, it would be giving you the ability to view the print settings available from here. Moving on, we have the second tab, which is the home. This has the most common controls that we often use. Starting with copy and paste. Then we have text formatting options. We have option to create grids, borders. We have the option for coloring, font formatting, etc. Here we have number format related things. We can also customize this ribbon by adding or removing tools. For example, if we have, we can add, if there is a certain feature that we need to have, we use frequently, then we can add it and remove it at the same time. For example, if there is a favorite formula that you have, then you could add that formula here to the date. To this function. Okay, I have a question. He's saying, can't we open in mobile or tablet? Well, it is possible that you can open in tablet, but you need to have Microsoft Excel available in your tablet. That is when this file will open.
No, I have Android only.
Okay, then this file may not be working over there.
Okay.
You would have
Then
different, you might
yeah,
have
I'm
Google
just
Docs.
yeah, I do have, but actually my laptop broke down, so I'm just gonna buy it new. Right now we have Mac.
Okay. MacBook also has a version of Excel. If you have
Uh,
Microsoft Office,
no, it's
it
a
would be available over
desktop
there.
version. Okay.
No,
Okay.
in mobile also, you can go in Play Store and you can download Excel, Microsoft Excel. I have downloaded that,
Okay.
so I can see this
The
in
suite,
mobile also.
MS Office suite. Okay,
Okay.
okay. Thank you. So I tried to catch up on Mac, I think. Right.
Sure. So the
Thank
next tab that we have is the Insert tab. Here we have the option of adding the most frequently used options in this are if you want to add images, then you can add an image to a certain file. We can draw shapes. We have the pivot tables, which we will try later on. We have the option of working with charts. And then the most important options we have here are the header and footer that are used in print formatting and layout, which we will see at the last part of this exercise. The page layout deals with how this is going to be printed on a piece of paper. Do you want to have this in portrait or in landscape? As an example, like currently, if you see this is available in a portrait session, we could change this into a landscape setup. So that will allow more of your columns to be on the same sheet. Moving on to the next one, which is formulas. Now, this is the heart of Excel. This is where we get the most value of whatever we are doing. We have here some related functions which are all related to numbers. Like if you want to get the average, you want to get the numbers, you want to get the max or the minimum. These are all functions that are most commonly used um, for numbers. Then we have certain lookup formulas. We'll be looking at VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP in this exercise. These are financial things which are normally not, which are only used if you are into investments and if you are into calculating, for example, internal rate of returns and other things. So this is this is another important one which we'll be looking at. We have the if else and the switch functions that are available. These are another set of text functions where we are dealing with text, date and time. As you can see that there are tons of functions available depending on what you would like to do. Now, one important feature is no one ever knows all the features or functions that are available. There are like thousands of functions or features available. At any given point in time, if you're looking for certain help, you also have the F1 available. So you can go into the F1 help and search it out. If you need formulas or something, for example, date, time, date, work days, you can search here and it shows you what are the work days that are available, what are the formulas available for work days. Now I want to, for example, find out what is the workday function. I click on it and it takes me and it says that this returns the number of days between two dates, and it is calculating serial number of the date before and after specified. So it gives me the parameter saying this is the start date, this is the days, and it has the option of saying how many holidays are in between. Okay. Next, we move to the data tab. In data tab, we deal mostly with table related functions. For example, you have certain files that you have received from another system. You might be using a software somewhere, let's say for patient records or for student details. That computer or that system will give you a certain data in a format. You want to import it, you can import the data from the file here. This gives you the option of importing data from variety of sources. And this is, for example, from text file. Like if you had a text file, we wanted to import data, we could just go here and then import it over here. Then we would have okay, the other important features that we will be again using in this tab will be the text to column, duplication, removing of duplicates. We have, for example, data validation. This is a very important feature to make sure that your data is consistent and that you're not using two different names for the same value. And we have the option in review to protect the sheet, where we can protect and add formula. We have the view, so we can change the views here. We can, for example, page break view, we can look at it in a different way, see how it looks in terms of the A4 pages or the, it's like a print preview kind of a thing. Now, developer is an option that is used for developing certain macros. Macros are formulas that you can actually do. For example, in an Excel file, if you have to do certain steps repeatedly, you want to format a file in a certain way, you have the option of actually recording those steps and then reusing those steps again and again based on that recording in another file. The help tab, as we have mentioned, is useful for getting help regarding any function, any formulas, anything that we want to have. The second best option is, nowadays, most of these things are available on YouTube. You could also go and search for instructions on YouTube, Google, ChatGPT. All of them are available. So I generally prefer to go to these sources because the help available here is from the old days, and it's useful. But like with YouTube, you can even get video. So at any given point in time, that's how you learn. Do you have any questions so far? Or any comments? Yeah, are you following what I'm saying? Am I going too fast? Is the speed okay? Or okay, we have a brother who's actually shared that we can actually download for those who are on using a mobile phone, Microsoft Excel app is available on the Play Store, is what they're saying. Okay, the developer tab may not be available for everyone. It is available in certain situations. You need to enable it from the settings. But for this course, we don't need to have that. Okay, we're going to do some basic functions here. This is an employee list that we have in the file that we are working on today. Let us get used to the terminology also. An Excel file will have multiple sheets. So this whole thing that we are looking at right now is a sheet. The second thing, the second sheet we have available is here. For example, this is called the lookup data. This is the other sheet. A file, an Excel workbook can have multiple sheets. So for example, this is a new sheet. What I would do is I can go ahead and I can, for example, I want to keep this sheet as it is so that, we don't disturb the data. As a practice, I normally create a copy and work on that sheet. So for example, when I create a copy here, I right click on the sheet, I clicked on move or copy, select create a copy, and then it gives you the options here saying, do you want it in the same Excel file or do you want to create in a new file? So within the same file, I created a copy and it created employee sheet 2. Now we have the ability to rename this sheet by double clicking it. And for example, I will say this is work employee sheet. Okay. We also have the option here of color coding it. For example, I can say, just to make things easy, if you have multiple sheets, I can add different colors. So this is my original sheet. I will leave it at orange. And this is the lookup data. I can mark it as yellow. So this is my worksheet. In an Excel file, we have data that is stored in columns. So this is column, and this the yellow highlighted is a column. And what I've selected right now and I have colored it blue is yellow. Sorry, is a row. Every Excel file will be divided into rows and columns. Now, in how are the rows and columns identified? The rows are identified by row numbers. So you have rows numbered from 1 through till 100,000 rows or even more if required. And the columns are named alphabetically from A, B, C, D, E, F, all the way till A, B, A, C, all the way till ZZ. Or in fact, depending on the Excel version you're using, you will have a different number of rows and columns. I've had a request for somebody to be speaking in Urdu, so I just want to also know how many here are only English speaking and how many are Urdu speaking only. Like, can you please give me an indication? I can also mix up Urdu and English if required. So depending on the response, I can.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm okay with any.
English.
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 Okay.
Urdu.
Okay, I see that most people here seem to be having English only. So I will stick to English and I will see what I can. I will maybe repeat some of the common points in Urdu as well. So अभी जो मैंने बात कही, let me just repeat the same thing in Urdu for just a quick minute. So एक Excel फाइल में सबसे important जो चीज होती है वो है फाइल में रोज और कॉलम्स. ये जो ब्लू में किया गया है ये रो है और जो येलो में हाईलाइटेड है ये कॉलम है. कॉलम के नाम A, B, C, D, E, F होते हैं एंड रोज के नंबर्स 1, 2, 3 से होते हैं ऑल द वे टिल 1 million or whatever the thing might be. ठीक है? Okay, that's good. So we're going to do all our exercises on this one file today, and what we have here is a list of employees. As you can see, the employee information has been given as employee code and employee name. Okay, so what we would like to do is the practice file is available in the WhatsApp group and also available in the, you can download it from this link. So the first task that we will be doing is we will be formatting this employee list into employee name and employee code. We want to segregate it. How do we do it? So here we have a function, we have a list of employees. We can see that the first 6 digit of this column is giving us the employee code. So we will go into the employee code column here, and we want to fill in here employee code. So if this was a few data or little data, I could just go and I will type in the information here, EMP002. But imagine if you're having 100 employees, how much time will it take for you to format this data? It will take a long time, right? So what we are going to do is we will be doing a formula here. To add a formula, if we go into an Excel, any Excel cell, like, a cell is a single box here that you see. This is called as a cell. This is a cell. So any cell will be always referred with a column name and a row number. So can anybody tell me what is the green colored cell? How would I name this? यहाँ पे एक एक्सेल फाइल में हर बॉक्स को एक सेल कहा जाता है. सेल का एक एड्रेस होता है.
B3.
B3, very good. Correct. So this is B3. How do we know it is B3? Always we start with column first and then row. So this is cell B3. What is our employee information? Which column is that in?
Column A.
It is in column A. So what we are going to do is now we will point when we highlight a cell, as you can see here, you get the option where you can actually type in any information here. You can edit the contents of a cell from this cell editor available here on the top side of the column. You could also do it in the cell itself. So you could type in here and you can edit it from here. Okay. So what we will start our exercise with is we will start the first task we will do is we will collect all the employee codes and we will fill in this column, which is employee code column, which is column B. How are we going to fill that? We will fill that using a formula and a text function. So I'll repeat the same thing in Urdu कि हम अभी पहली एक्सरसाइज हम जो कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे हम हमारे एम्प्लॉय कोड को इस इंफॉर्मेशन में फिल करेंगे. एम्प्लॉय कोड कॉलम को हम फिल करेंगे. यहाँ पे वी विल यूज हम लोग टेक्स्ट फंक्शन यूज करेंगे एंड सारे एम्प्लॉयज का एम्प्लॉय कोड लाएंगे. एम्प्लॉय कोड हम कैसे ला रहे हैं? बिकॉज यहाँ पे हमें पता है कि एम्प्लॉय कोड 6 डिजिट लंबा है. तो आवर एम्प्लॉय कोड इज 6 डिजिट्स लॉन्ग. So what I will do is I will go and I will say I will type in a formula is equal to, and if I copy a certain thing, you can see that it has copied the full data as it is here. Right? Now what we want is we don't want the full data. We only want a certain portion of that data. So what I will do is I will say that is equal to left, and I will type in, I will select, say take only the left portion of this cell C3, sorry, left of A3, comma, I want to get only the 6 characters. So this is our first formula. As you can see, we have taken the first 6 characters of column A. Okay. Same thing, what I will do is now I will copy and paste this to the rest of the cells.
Please, can you repeat it?
Okay. Okay, we're going to repeat this again. Did everybody understand what we are trying to do here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We are trying to get ओके, लेट मी रिपीट दिस इन उर्दू. हम चाह रहे हैं यहाँ पे कि एक सेल में जो हमारे पास डेटा है, कॉलम में जो डेटा है, विच इज एम्प्लॉय कोड एंड एम्प्लॉय नेम, हम इसको अलग अलग कॉलम्स में हम इसको सेपरेट करेंगे ताकि फिल्टर करने के लिए और दूसरे टास्क करने के लिए आसानी हो. तो एम्प्लॉय कोड 6 डिजिट लंबा है एंड हम इसको अलग कर रहे हैं. सो द एम्प्लॉय कोड इज 6 डिजिट लॉन्ग एंड वी वांट टू गेट द फर्स्ट 6 डिजिट्स ऑफ our column A. How do we do that? We will type in the cell and we will go and we will say is equal to, we are referring to this cell. So if this is the first time you are doing this, then I would say that just copy is equal to and copy and paste that formula throughout. Do you see what happens here? Do you try this exercise? Just do a simple equal to and copy and paste it in the next column. Has everyone done this?
Yes.
ओके. यहां पे हमने सिर्फ और सिर्फ सिंपल इक्वल टू लगाया. तो आप देख रहे हैं कि जब इक्वल टू जब हम लगाएंगे तो जो भी कॉलम का डेटा रहेगा वो यहाँ पे आएगा. अगर हम इसका रेफरेंस चेंज करते हैं यहाँ पे फॉर एग्जांपल, तो यहाँ पे वही डेटा का कॉपी यहाँ पे हो जाएगा. और इक्वल टू से और एक चीज क्या होती है, यस, कॉपी एंड पेस्ट आप कर सकते हैं. यहाँ पे इसको फॉर्मूला को आप कॉपी एंड पेस्ट कर रहे हैं, लेकिन आपको एक चीज याद रखना पड़ेगा यहाँ पे कि आप जब फॉर्मूला में आप जब रेफर कर रहे हैं तो यहाँ पे जब कोई चीज चेंज करेंगे तो वहां पे भी चेंज होगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर मैं इसको करूं जॉन स्मिथ, तो यू कैन सी दिस वैल्यू इज ऑल्सो चेंजिंग बिकॉज दिस इज रेफरिंग टू A3. सो here we are giving a reference to a cell. Does anybody have a question about this? Okay. So if there are no questions, then we will go and we will continue this exercise. So what we want is we don't want the
Assalamu
full. Walaikum salam.
I was tapping on the box, but it's not coming up for me to type something inside.
What is happening? Does it allow you to type anything, or does it say the file is protected maybe?
It's not allowing me to type anything in it.
Are you on a computer or on a mobile phone?
On a mobile phone.
Okay, I'm not sure if these functions will work in the same way in the mobile phone. This is best on a laptop or a computer. So again, I would recommend you to follow it, and then it will do. If we change the formula from A3 to A5, will everything change? Yes. So if you change from A3 to A5, you can see now it will be referring to Amir Sheikh instead of John Smith. And if Amir Sheikh, if I change it to, let's say, Mr., then you can see it will refer to Mr. Amir Sheikh. Okay, how do we copy and paste? So copy and paste, there are two shortcuts that are important. Every one of you should be aware of this to increase the speed of doing things. One option we can do is we can right click on certain value that we have. We can say copy, and then we paste by selecting this value. This is one way. Okay.
Assalamu
This
alaikum.
is Walaikum salam.
On my laptop, I'm getting it. It cannot be opened on protected view. So could you please help me how to remove that?
Sorry, what does the message say? It says cannot be opened.
Uh, in protected view.
Okay. So there will be an option at the top. There will be a yellow bar that would be shown, and it would say that allow editing.
Yeah, I was looking for that, but it's not giving me anything. This file couldn't be opened in protected view. This is the only pop-up.
This file could not be opened in protected view.
Yes.
Okay. So one second. Where did you download this from? Did you download it from WhatsApp or from the link that I shared?
From WhatsApp, but I sent it to my laptop via Bluetooth.
There will be an option of enable editing. That if you go at the top, it will be highlighted in yellow, and it should allow you to do that.
Because for me that's grayed out. Editing is grayed out for me.
Okay. What I would recommend is if you're having that difficulty, then just open a new Excel file and copy and paste this data over there.
Yeah, but this file doesn't open, so how do I copy? Because
No, just open a new Excel.
Okay.
Just create a new Excel file.
Okay.
Okay. I would just recommend you to add certain columns here, like put any 6-digit code with the name of a person, and then we can do it.
Okay.
Okay. So the key takeaway I want you to understand here is you can have cell references. So if we change a cell reference, then it will change the value in the other place. One of our sisters has shared this link. So there is I think a protection from Windows. Windows makes sure that you don't have viruses on your computer, and to make it safe, what they're actually doing is, let me share my screen here. Okay. You can click on a certain file and you go into properties and you will have security. If you have downloaded it from the web, it will give you a certain box here saying unblock. You need to unblock it from there. Now, in my case, that is not here because it is already something that is created on my computer. But for those who are not able
No,
to do this,
I
then you
have
can.
done, I have gone to this also. Even I'm not getting, I'm getting the same option as you are getting. I tried this also.
Okay, for those who are having this difficulty, then let's just create a new Excel
Okay,
file.
okay. I found it. I found it. I think it's under general. At the bottom, it says unblock.
Okay.
Let's see. Yes, okay. Alhamdulillah, I got it.
So this was created in version 2019, but you could use any other version and it should be working fine. 2013, 16, all of this should be working. So here, if you can see my screen, what I am sharing is, one second. So for copy and paste, you have 2 or 3 different ways of doing it. So first way is you right click and copy, and then right click and paste. Second option that you will have is use a shortcut. Please try this. Control plus C and Control plus V. How many of you are familiar with Control C or Control V? Or how many are, let me ask this in the other way. How many of you are hearing of the Control C, Control V for the first time? You can type in the responses. Okay. Okay, so again, this is very common and familiar. So this is across Windows, whether you're using Word or any other thing. Please try to use this because this saves a huge amount of time. Okay. The second way you can do this is you have an option here. If you can go into the cell, corner of the cell, it allows you and shows you the small plus symbol. So you can just drag this and then it copies the formula and extends this thing. Now this extension is a very common thing. It is used for multiple functions. For example, you have 1, 2, 3. You want to type a series. You want this series to continue. You could just select the fields and then the Excel fills out the rest of the information for you. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. Sorry to interrupt again. But like I was able to open this, but it is not allowing me to type anything. Could you assist me
Well,
with this?
sister, try to open a new file, and as I mentioned, like if you're able to work on it open a completely different, completely new Excel file, and see if you're able to
Even
edit
though I can
because
see the data, even though I'm able to open this file, but it's not allowing me to edit. So in spite of that, you
okay,
want me to
I
open a new
I
one?
recommend, yeah, create a new one, copy the data into the file, or it doesn't matter, even if the data is not there, just come up with some employee names and employee code, and then we will continue this exercise.
Okay.
Thank you, Afsha, but like I think that will take up a long time for us to like get into those settings. That's why it is better we proceed with the exercise. So now we will continue with this exercise. For the first activity, to get the employee codes, we are going to use the formula equal to left of a certain cell, and we will select the cell saying cell A3, take the left value. How many characters do we want? We want 6 of them. So we copy and paste this formula. Now the next thing is we will continue this. We will copy and paste this formula. So I copy it. Then I have the option here of pasting. So as you can see, when you paste it, it will paste the formula by changing and keeping it consistent. So when I say A, you can see that it pasted, copy and pasted A3. Here, the reference is looking at A4. So the Excel automatically gives it. The brackets are needed because without the brackets, it will not know. For example, it will give you an error if you don't have the brackets. The formula has to be in a certain format. So
could you kindly explain what is number 6 for?
So what we will do is this was drag from okay. So what we are doing is we're doing a text formula. We're doing it. We're saying equal to left and then cell reference, comma, how big do we want the field to be, which is 6. Does anybody have a question about this? Did everyone try this? Please
Yes,
give the
the
thumb
number
up
6, please.
6
Like,
is
what is number
referring to
6?
the length of the 6 is the length of employee code.
You mean the number of characters or?
Yes, number of characters.
Okay.
I'm dragging, but it's not coming.
Sorry?
I'm dragging, but it's not coming. I did equal to left, and then I typed A3, comma 6, and then I put the brackets, but it's not coming. So I'm
It
dragging
will
from the
definitely
corner.
run. Like if you just type equal to and you're selecting the cell, is it showing the data or not?
It showed employee 001, EMP 001. Then I tried to drag, but it's empty. The
Okay,
columns are empty.
so you might be dragging it in this way. When you are dragging it, it should be in the bottom right corner. You drag it from here.
Okay.
You will see a small plus sign when you select the bottom right corner of that field.
Okay, I'm dragging the. Should I write?
Do you see a
Should I
small
double
plus
click?
like this?
Small plus? No.
Okay, if you're not able to do that, then use it in the other way. Do a Control C, select the values, and then paste using Control V. Or you could just do right click, copy, and then after that, select the fields where you want this to be pasted, right click, and then you can see in the paste, we have different options here. We have paste value, we have paste formula. So what we want to do is we want to paste the formula and we click on paste. If the dragging is not working, you can try it in this way.
Okay, because I was doing on the phone while I'm watching in the laptop, but so let me try in the laptop.
Okay. Can we move to the next exercise now?
Yeah.
I have another question. What does left mean?
Okay, left is a text function. As we mentioned, we are having functions that are used, formulas. Here, there are many formulas that are available. So, left is referring to returns the specified number of characters from the start of a text. For example, if I say left of, I'm selecting D3 and click on it, and I have to specify, let's say, one character only. So what does it get me? It gets me F. And for example, you will have situations, for example, where you have male, female,
So left
and
is like
you
how
want.
we read it, and right is like from backward.
Can you repeat that again, please? I'm sorry, I could not hear you.
Like when we use left, it's like how it's said from the start of the sentence. So same way, if we replace the left with right, it will start from the end of the sentence. Is that correct?
That is correct. So we also have the option of right, but right is not, we use it very rarely. We will have, for example, right, and we can do right of this.
For
Sorry.
example, I want only the last name, like Smith, Michelle, Shape.
Yes. Now we can do that function like for this column now we wanted the employee names, and as you mentioned rightly, we can use the right column. Let's try this, okay? As the sister suggested, let's try the right column here, right? We will use the same formula, right? And then how do we get the employee name? Let's say employee name is 20 characters. But the problem is it will work for some, it will not work for some. Or no, I think I will reduce it to, let's say, 30. Sorry, this will be, let's say, 10. So for John Smith, if I do 10 characters, it works well. So my right formula is working. But
Okay, like my question was, what about just the last name of theirs? Like only Smith or Michelle or Shape, only the last name.
yeah, so now this is what this is where we will try to solve the problem. I understand your thing. Let's see how we can get the last name of a person. In fact, let's do this exercise. I want you to add a column here called as last name. How do you add a column? You right click on a column, click on insert, and then say last name.
Where do you right click?
So how do we get the last name? What do you think will be the way? So if we do right, as we can see, we are not able to get the data, correct?
I think no, because see, you had given 10, right? If you look at the last one for Emily Clark, the E
Yes,
doesn't appear because I think 10 is over by M,
correct.
correct?
So not just Emily Clark, but for
Ah,
all the names you can see, for example, Marcus,
right. Yes, yes.
Helena, all of this. So we cannot split the columns. We are not able to get this data by using the formula for right. But since you mentioned right, I just wanted you to understand how right works and how left works. So how
I
can we
didn't
solve
understand. How
this?
does right work like left? Is it bringing the same thing?
Yeah, sorry, can you repeat the answer? Question?
I'm asking whether the right, if you use the formula for the right, is it bringing the same thing as the left one?
Yeah, it is bringing the same thing. It brings the same thing. For example, if you say write 6, it will give you Smith, and it is getting 6 last numbers. What are the 6 last numbers? Characters. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is how it calculates, and it gets that data. For example, here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are the 6 that it will get in the formula. If I apply the same formula, you can see only TCHELL is available. But this is not useful for getting the employee name. The employee name
Yeah.
is in the middle. So we have an option here. We will be looking at the formula now called as middle. So in
Okay.
this, it gives you middle, cell reference, start position, end position. Okay. So what we will go is we know that the
Can you please
first
repeat?
6 columns, first 6 is employee code. Then we have a hyphen in between. So that is 7. So what we will do is we will use a formula. We are typing a formula here now, is equal to MID middle of column A3 or cell A3. I want this to start at 7, and I want the next 20 or 15 characters to come in. Do, do you see how this is happening? Now, when we say start from the 7th, it took the 7th character, which was our hyphen. But we want really to ignore the hyphen. So I will change this formula to start from the 8th character. And as you can see now, this data is now available. If you have been able to complete this, can you give me a thumbs up so I know that you're following? Okay, very good. Okay, very nice. Now, okay, the formula is like this. I will type the formula in the Word file. Okay, I'll tell you why I wrote each one. A3, what is A3? Can anybody tell me what A3 is?
The column A and the
Okay,
cell 3.
and what is number 8?
The number of characters we want.
Okay, it is
Start
where I'm going
position.
to start from the 8th character. And then 15, what is 15?
And this is the number of characters. The enter position.
Yes. So I'm saying
The
start
end
at
position.
8th column and then take 15 characters after that. So it will take from 8 until 23 characters, 8 plus 15, 23. It will show whatever data is available and which is bringing me the employee name because all the employee names are within that limit. So
Could you
for
please
example,
put
if I
the
say 10 characters, let's see what happens. Let's play with this and see what happens here. As you can see, if I take 10, some names are getting cut here.
Can you please put the formula again?
What is that?
Please put the formula again where you had written. I'm writing it. I didn't finish writing the formula.
Okay.
The mid cell reference. Okay, yeah. Just okay, fine.
Again, I would recommend just note down mid. The rest of it you don't need to remember or write because if you type the formula here, when you say is equal to, when you say mid, the system itself shows you how to do this. And you select on this, it will give you a help here. It says text. So you say, which is the text? It gives you a help. So, and then you type comma, it highlights the next one. It is asking you for the next starting number, which is 8. Then how many characters do we want? Let's say 20. Doesn't matter. Now, does anybody have an idea how we can get our last name from this data? Do you have any suggestions?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
I think we might say end equals end, then perhaps from the 10th character to the end. The starting
Okay.
position might be 10. And the
I want
end.
you to give this a try in your computer and let me know if you are able to do this. I want you to get the last name of a person.
Sir, can we use
doesn't work.
equal to mid?
This
and,
doesn't work. Somebody said this does not work, brother.
Sir, can we use
838.
equal to mid into bracket the number of the character till the end?
Okay, this is going to be a little tricky. I will leave this till the end. I want you to give this a try, but I will leave this for now till the end because it cannot be. You need to use 2 or 3 different formulas to do this. You need at least 2 formulas to do this. I will I will leave that for you to give it a hint. So this is how I would do. How do we know what the last name is? We need to find out where the space is. We need to identify the space and then get the number, get the name after it. So that's a hint. How you do that is something that I will leave it to you because we will continue to our next exercise. All right, everybody on board? Can we go to the next exercise?
Yes.
Sorry? Okay. Any questions
Yes.
before I proceed?
So for
So
different sections, we have to use different formulas.
yes, for every depending on what activity we need to do, we will see formula how they are used. Like we are going to, in this sheet we are going to use we have used the text functions. We are going to work on numbers now. So we will also see formulas on numbers.
So far
Left
we have
12,
used only
20
one.
work. Well, Ayan, I will
So-
leave that to you. You need to tell me if that works. That formula will not work for everything.
Okay. So far we have used only one formula, the text function, one formula, equal sign left A3 to 6. Only that's the formula that we have used. We have not used another
So
different
we have
formula,
used two
right?
formulas. We have
Oh,
used
we
two
have used.
formulas. One is
Okay,
left
which
and the second one is for mid.
wait, the second one is for?
Middle.
Oh, mid.
This
Hey,
one.
yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Yeah, Jazakallah khairan. Yes, yes, yes. Now I get it now.
Okay. Now we will move on to the next exercise, which is we want to fill the designation in column F. Now we have certain designations. We have manager, we have executive, office worker, and we want to fill this out. But as you can see, somebody can, when he's typing data like this, can make a mistake. Correct? When we are typing fast,
Yes, sir.
how do we prevent this from happening? We can prevent it by happening by putting in some validation. How do we do the validation? We work on validation works by can anybody suggest which ribbon will have this function for validation?
Spell check or something.
It's available under the data tab. Move on to the data ribbon and then look at data validations here. Do you see, did you find it? Did everyone find this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now in data validation, we have many types of rules that are available. Okay. Where is data validation? Data validation is, we are going to the next exercise, which is data validation goes from data. Okay. When you click on data validation, it will give you an option here. Let me start from the beginning. It says data validation. I click on it and it says settings. What do I want? I want to allow values of a certain list. And then it is asking me for the source of that data, which is over here. So let me, before I start designations, let's look at the data that we have available here. If you have the lookup data, please open the lookup tab. Lookup workbook, lookup data workbook. And in this, you can see I have put in a list of designations that is available. Employee positions. Okay. Did everybody find this? Okay. So I want to be able to choose from this limited list of positions only. So what I do is I go in here and I say, I select the columns here. And what I want to do is I want to select and I want to say that add data validation. I want to select from a list of values, and that list is going to be over here. Okay. So once I add this validation with the list, you see what happens now is I have an option. Let's say I type in if I type in manager, what does the system tell me? It tells me the value does not match the validation function. So what I can do is I can go down and look at selecting the value from here.
So can you please repeat the process?
Okay, I will do it again. But you see what is happening now? We can now select. It's a drop down available. And we can select these items.
Can you please repeat from the beginning? I didn't understand.
Sure. Okay. I'm going to repeat it again. Okay. So this is a normal Excel file. And this is a normal cell. I can type in anything over here. Can I type something over here? No. Why? Because this is only giving me two options, foreign or local. Correct? I want to do the same thing with my position here. Designation or position. How do I do that? I add a validation. I select the cells that I want to manage, and I go into the system and I tell the system saying, go to the data tab and click on data validation. Did everybody follow till here?
No, you're writing position instead of designation.
Yes. So how I'm doing is I am just selecting the cells where I want to fill in the data, where I want to have the controls on, and I click on data validation.
Okay.
Okay. Now, currently, what does these cells, what do they allow? They allow any value, which means you can type in anything. But I want to restrict this. For example, we have an option here. Okay. For example, I wanted only, let me show you one more example, which will be easier to do. For example, there is a column here, column N. It has number of children. Correct? Now, I could type in, for example, number of children. One second. I had already applied this. So here, originally, if you look at this sheet, I could type in anything. Is this correct data which I'm typing here on number of children?
No.
No.
Okay. So what do we want to do? We want to control this data. How do we control it? We will tell Excel saying here in this column, please check and add a data validation rule here. Okay, what is the data validation rule that I want? I want only whole numbers to be here. Okay, once I say whole numbers, then it says what is the range you wanted. Now, I know it is like, what is the minimum expected is 0. And let's assume that somebody can have a maximum of 20 children. Because I don't want somebody to be typing in a crazy number like this. This doesn't make sense. So currently I put the value as between 1 and 20. So what the system will expect is I type in 1, it accepts. 5, it accepts. 15, accepted. 20, accepted. If I type in 21, system will tell you that this is not allowed. So for example, let's say you have a student list and you want to find out like you want to record their ages. So you could put in a rule saying the minimum age has to be 16. So the system will stop you from entering any data that is less than 16 in that list. Any questions on this?
Yes, could you kindly repeat this? After we
Sure.
go into, like, where do we type that number in source?
Okay, so what we are doing is we are selecting the fields in which we want to apply the formula or the formatting. We click on data validation, and by default, this is how you will see the screen. Click on clear value if there's something clear value. So by default, Excel allows you to enter any value. Okay. Now, what I want the system to do is I want that system to restrict this by whole numbers. And I can give the range saying I want the value to be between 0 and 20 or 25. So in that case, the system will then start checking the values here. If I enter 0, it accepts. If I enter -1, no. If I enter, let's say 1 as a number like this, it says no. If I enter a name or any other field. So what this is doing is it is protecting my Excel from getting corrupt data. So I could just type in whatever data is available. Any questions?
Yes, sir. How can I use that custom option?
Custom?
Option. There is a
Well,
custom
again,
option.
you need to tell me what the custom option, like what we need, like for example, custom is if you want to have a formula typed in saying if this is there, then you do that. Like, if this, then that, you have to type in a formula. I do not know a scenario. It doesn't come to my mind right now where this is useful, but one day you might have a situation and you will figure it out. Trust me, like there is nothing that everyone can like nobody has ever used all the functions available here, and nobody will ever use all the functions available here. As the situation comes, the tools are available, you need to know which one to apply. Now we used in this explanation, brother, we did not complete the designations thing. We will do it now. I moved on to number of children, which is restricting by whole number. Okay, this we have done. Now I want to apply this to the next level, which is I want to restrict this to a list. So what I do is I go and select the columns and I say data validation, and I want to have a list of items. Now, where is this list available? I have to tell it what the source of this list is. So in the source, I will go, I click on this source text field. I go into the Excel workbook where this list is available, and I say apply. So what it is doing is it is looking up the data from F3 till F8, which is here, F3 till F8. Sorry. Data validation, list, lookup data, F3 till F8. And I click on it. And now you can see that it gives me a list of values that I can select from.
Mine is not showing.
Which step is not showing, sister?
Data validation. Because I
Okay.
clicked the, I highlighted the place, and then I went to data validation. I
Okay, you
highlighted the
select
place
the field, click on
designation.
data
I
validation.
selected this. Yes. Data validation. Yeah.
Did you click on allow list?
Which one?
List.
List. No, okay, it's showing here data validation, circle invalid data, clear validation circle. So I go to data validation.
Okay.
Okay, it's showing validation criteria, settings, input message, error alert.
Okay, sister, I want you to start from the beginning, like select the cells or select with one cell, apply, click on data validation, choose.
Only one cell.
Yeah, just use one cell.
Okay.
List. And then go to source, add the value
List.
over there,
Oh,
add
I go
the
to data
select these
value.
values.
Validation criteria, no, it's showing the same thing over here. Allow, okay. Any value, whole number, it's showing the same thing.
Okay, you're definitely then missing something. Can you are you able to see the screen here? Do you have exactly the same data? Have you
The
selected
same,
list?
I don't see these ones.
In
Settings,
validation criteria, do you see the screen validation criteria?
No. Okay, validation. Yes.
Did you select lists?
List. Okay.
Allow
Yes.
list. Okay.
Allow
Now
list.
click on
Yeah,
source.
list is there.
Click
Okay,
on source.
Okay.
Now in the source, after you click on source, then you need to click on the lookup data, which is a Excel workbook. This is the other workbook that we have here. And select the
I do what?
cells.
Look up.
You should have data something like this. It should look like this. Lookup data from F3 to F8.
Should I type that?
Yeah,
Equal
you
sign?
could type it if you wish. If you wish, you can just type this and it will work. Type this in the formula sheet if you need to.
Look up because it's not working here. Look up data.
All right. I hope you have all got it by now. There's one mistake I have noticed that the column titles for G and H, I think, were mixed up. So G should be basic salary and the H will be date of birth.
Sir,
Do you
hello.
have, does anybody have a question? Can we move on?
Sir, am I audible? Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes. Yes.
Oh. Sir, in place of using data validation for the position, since we know all the values such as office employee, admin, staff, production, sales, manager, and executive, can we use drop downs so people can select from it directly?
So this is actually giving you a drop down itself. If you can see here, this drop down is coming from data validation.
Okay.
All right. Now, moving on to the next activity that we have here, we have column G should be basic salary, and we have some values that are available, which we will try to fill here. Now, the rule that we have is housing allowance is equal to 25% of your basic salary. Okay? Everybody following this? So to calculate the housing, we will multiply the housing with basic salary with 25 divided by 100. As we can see here, we get the housing salary. I will apply this formula all the way. to get housing salaries for each one of them. Did everybody try this out? Any questions on this?
Can you explain that housing again?
Okay, so this company gives 25% of the basic salary as housing. So, for example, if your salary is 10,000, you get 2,500 as housing. Okay. Our Excel file, you have the housing column is blank. So what we will do is we will calculate now housing from our basic salary. So we will go into housing is equal to basic salary multiplied by 25%. So that way we get housing salary for the employees. Are you following this?
Yes.
Any
Multiply by
questions?
25%.
Yes, multiply by 25%. Or multiply by 0.25. Whatever you prefer, it's the same answer. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Suppose if we want to exchange the values between the columns, say that, at a certain point I made a mistake and I want to exchange the values, like how you had said, here basic salary and date of birth in our original worksheets where I had a, wrong column. Say, for example, in the middle, I want to exchange the values. Is there a formula for that?
Exchange the value or extend the value? Can you give me an example? Like what are you trying to do?
Like, for example, instead of writing the housing, the what do you say, housing salary, uh, say for example in the middle, by mistake I wrote the basic salary there, and I started copying all those. So now the housing salary data went into basic salary, and the basic salary data went into housing. So instead
So,
of
okay.
doing one by one correction, yeah.
If I want to understand correctly, let's say I want the basic salary to be, it should have been in column H, and I want to move it.
Mm.
So what I can do is I can select the entire column here. I say cut, and then I can click on here and I can say
Yeah.
insert cut cells. Sorry, cut, and I can say insert cut cells. So what it happens is now my basic salary is next to housing.
Yeah, that's moved. What I mean is, I want to exchange the data. For example, say, take the first one, 3,750. It was supposed to be in basic salary, but I made a mistake. I had put all those data into housing. Okay, for example.
Okay,
Are
where
you
is the
able to
mistake
understand?
made?
Say I did this in the middle, for example. So I put
Okay.
the basic salary data into housing. All
Oh,
right.
you mean to
And then
say
I
the
put
data
the
got
housing
exchanged?
data.
So
Yeah,
you're saying
exactly.
something
So
like this. So
how do I
this should have
rectify?
been, you mean something like this. This should have been basic, but this is
Yeah.
well, you have, it's very easy. Like, there are two ways of doing it. One is just change this to basic, change the title of the
No, no,
column. That's one
that
of the
is if the
ways.
whole thing, that is if the whole thing was like that. That's easy, yes. But what if
Okay.
in between
The
I made
other
such a
way,
mistake?
the other way you do it is you copy and you paste it somewhere, and then you copy and paste this value in its place like this,
Oh, that's the only thing. There's no formula to
right?
exchange.
Yeah, you have to,
Okay.
I mean, it's like trying to move things from different boxes. So you just move this to some other place here, and then you copy and paste this value into whatever you need to do, like this.
That's the only thing. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So has everybody completed any questions about the housing?
If you
Okay,
don't mind,
inserting new column and how come data is shifting. So data shifting happens. Somebody asked here, Ibtisam asked the question. Here, you can just copy a certain column or cut a certain column and click on the column where you want this to be inserted, and you can insert cut cells. So the data can be moved like this. Okay. The other thing was we did the housing formula here as 25% of the basic. Now let's look at transport. Is everyone following? So now the transport is based on designation. So certain employees, they have their own, they have company bus. So they don't get a transport allowance, they get the company bus. But the others, the executives and other office employees who don't take the company bus, they have a transport allowance. So it is based on position. So I will put in some designations here. So what we want to do now is we want to get this transport allowance based on a position. So I will have there is an option which is called as VLOOKUP. And what do I want to look up? I want to look up office employee as the field. Where do I want to look up that? Again, I go into lookup data. This is where my data is. And which column do I have the data transport in? It is in column 1 and it is an exact match. Okay. Column 2. Okay, so as an example, now if I have a certain employee based on the position, you can see that his one. So for example, based on his designation, you see the values will change. Are you following this? Are you following these two things?
No, this one for the
Can you please repeat
position.
So
the
based on the
for the
position now,
position,
the transport allowance is changing. Okay. I'm going to repeat this, but I just want you to understand what we are doing here.
I understand the column for transport, but this one, the position designated, it's not written any. I tried to do the data validation, but it's not working on my side. I don't know why it's not working. So I don't have those. Can I just type anything like manager, employee, like that? Manager.
Yeah, you can, but you can type that. Just make sure that you're typing the correct spelling. If the correct spelling is there, you can still continue with this next exercise, which is VLOOKUP, which is data lookup exercise.
Okay.
Is everyone following this? Any questions? Brothers, sisters, like, can you give me some response so I know like how many people are following and how many are not?
Can you please repeat this?
I will repeat it. Okay.
Do you mean
Okay.
repeating from the designation?
Based on the designation, we want to get employee data. Like we want to get the employee transport based on designation. Correct? How do we do this? Inside the lookup data, we have a table which says employee position, what is their transport allowance, and what is their food allowance. Okay, this data is available in some location. Correct?
Yes.
We want to match this data to our sheet. What do we want to match it with? So we want the transport allowance. We want the system to get the transport allowance by looking at the position and getting the transport allowance field. How are we doing this? We are using a very popular function which is called as VLOOKUP. It means vertical lookup. Okay. So VLOOKUP it's an easy thing which once you understand, it will become easy. What we have to do is we have to say that we're telling the system saying VLOOKUP. What are we looking for? We are looking for employee position. So which is where do we have this? We have this in F3. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, next it asks you here, if you see, what is it asking for?
Table.
What is it
array.
asking for? It is asking me for a table array. Are you following? It's saying me, where do I get this data from? Is there a table where I need to look this up at? We say yes. Where is that table? I go and I look at the table over here. This is my table. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, which column from this table do I want to get? I want to get transport. What column number is it?
G.
Yeah, G. But what is the column number? It's column number is
Column number
1,
3.
column number 2.
3. It's column number 2.
Column number 2. And then I want it to be an exact match. So exact match is false. False means exact match. This is how the system does it. So then I select that and I complete it and I say okay. And as you can see, it is getting me this data.
How did we say it's column 2? Can't we just select transport column?
Because on my side, transport is showing column 3.
So let me paste the formula here. So this is VLOOKUP. Okay. What do we have to do? What is F3? It's the position.
Position.
Cell having position information. Correct? Or it's also the lookup value. Okay. Now, second thing we have here is where are we getting the data from? It says this should be the table array, right? What were we saying? It was this is table array having data. Okay? Correct?
Yeah, okay.
Is everyone following this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what is the third field that we have here is the column which you want to fetch. So the column number to get data from in the array. So we want the second column, which is column 2. Okay. And then we
I
want
have a question here.
a data to be having exact match. We have two options here. True means approximate match, and false means exact match. It is always 99% of the time you will always go with false, exact match, because true gives you sometimes data that is not accurate. Okay. So here, this is referring to our Excel file with F2 to H8. Now, one important thing that you need to know about VLOOKUP. The first column of the lookup table should be matching with whatever is the lookup value that we want to search. Like, I cannot have this column in the middle. Like, if I had data like this, I would not be able to use it. Like, if my table was, let's say, 1 minute. If my table is like this, I will not be able to use this data because VLOOKUP only looks up data on the right side. It doesn't look at data on the left side. Okay. Is everybody following this?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, we are following.
Okay. So now we have the data that is coming from here. Okay. Now, if I apply this formula, do you think it is going to get correct data for everything? I'm going
No,
to
it is
copy and I'm going to paste this value until here. Okay. Do you see what has happened here? I got correct data for these fields, but for these fields, I'm not getting the correct data. Why? How many of you are following this till now? Like, can you please give me a thumbs up if you have completed this step so far? And if you're getting the same error.
Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Please, can you go back to the lookout for the VLOOK for the practical aspect? If you can enter it again for us to see it. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So again, I'm going to do this once again for the VLOOKUP. Okay. Is everybody here? Like now, where what we are at is we have position. All of you are having position data here.
No, this position is I understand the part for the transport and the VLOOKUP. Alhamdulillah, I wrote it, but this one for the position is a
Okay.
bit tricky.
Even if you don't have this, it is fine. If you're not able to do, what you need to do is you need to type in the correct spelling. If you type in manager, then you type in MANE manager correctly. Okay. Just make sure you're typing it correctly. For our next exercise, we are going to get the transport allowance. We will calculate the transport allowance based on position of a person. How do we do that? In lookup data, we have employee positions and we have the transport allowance, correct? We will use or we will try to match position. We will search using the position and get the transport allowance. How we do that is a function called as VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP. Okay. What do we want to look up at? We want to look up position, which is column F3, right? Where do we want to search this? We want to search this value. We want to search values in a table. I select the table. Now the thing that I have to remember is the first column that I select here, which is F, must be my search value. My search value was position, right? This should be the first column. So is position my first column? Yes. So I select this one. So F3 to H18, H8. Okay. And then which column do I want? Let's say I select column 1. What will I get in column 1? What is column 1? Column 1 is employee position. As you can see, what did I get? I got his position here. Is everybody following? Okay. What do I need to get? I want to get his. Do I need employee position here? No. What do I need? I need to get transport allowance, which is column. This is column 1, column 2, column 3. So how do I do this? I get this from column 2, 700. He's an office employee, 700. Is that correct? Office employee is having 700 transport allowance. If I change his position, let's see, if I change his position to admin staff, is it working? It is changing. If I change to an executive, it is working. Okay. Now, there is one problem that I see here, that my formula is working, but it only works for the first 4 lines. After that, it is not working. There is some problem happening. What do you think is the problem? Let us compare this formula, what happened to it. So here it's comparing F3. Let's highlight this. So it is comparing F3 with F3 to H8, which is F3 from here to H8, which is still here. Okay. It worked fine. So it is working till fine here. What happened in this line? It's looking at F7. What is my F7? Yes. So let's find out why this formula is not working after some lines. So, and this will also give us an understanding of how the formula works. So why is it not working here? I am having executive, manager, or other things, but this formula is not working here. Why? So I go back and I'm checking the formula now. Why am I getting an error here? Why is it saying not available? Because I look up, what am I looking at? Is my lookup value here? Yes. What is my lookup data? It says F7 to H12. But is this what I'm looking at? F7 to H12. There is no data here. Correct. That is why we are getting an error. So we need to fix this. Where should the data be? The data is between F3 to H8. Correct? So let me go and put it here. F3 to H8. Now you see the amount, the value is coming. Correct? Now I know that the problem is that this field is changing. Like if I put the same thing here, it is working. F3 to H8. But if I put this, if I drag and drop this formula, whenever I'm dragging and dropping, it is going to keep changing the formula. You see, it became F8 to H13. System will automatically follow the series. So what do I need to do? I need to tell the system, they saying that this is constant. It will not change. I do not want the system to change the value of these row and these column limits should not change. how do I do that? I add a dollar sign here. Okay. So now if I apply the dollar sign, as you can see, the formula is working all over. When I drag this formula all the way till the bottom, even in the last value, it will work. Okay. Yes, Sadaf, you're right. We will use the dollar sign. Dollar sign added to ref. Keep fixed reference. Did everybody follow this?
I use the same formula, but for me it's coming not applicable.
No, okay. What is the range? Check here. Are you having dollar sign F, dollar sign 3, range to dollar
The
H,
first
dollar T?
value, the first value itself, F3, column F, yeah, F3. The
Okay,
first
what do you
value
have in the
itself is,
position then? Position, did you type executive or manager? Please check the spelling and
yes,
type
it's
it correctly.
manager. It's manager.
Okay, what I will do is I will copy and paste this formula here. Try this formula in your Excel file. I've typed it in the chat. Try the try the formula in the Excel file and please let me know. Any questions? Okay. Now there is another another option we have for this data. I will just try to. Okay, mashallah. It's good to see that it is working for a good number of you now. Now what I will do is I will use the same thing to I copy and pasted the same thing here, and you see it did not, it changed again. What do we need to do? If I have to copy and paste, like although the formula is correct, one of the problem is here it is changing to G. So again, I need
Column
to
3.
keep the dollar sign on F because I want the F, the designation should always be F. So when I copy and paste it now, this is my formula, and here I will want to get column 2, which is my food allowance. Sorry, column 3, which is food allowance. All right. Well, it can be in same sheet or it can be in different sheet. The data, because as you are seeing, we're giving a reference. It can be this reference. It will have sheet name if it is coming from different sheet. If it is in the same sheet, then you can use the same thing. But it is preferable most of the time when you're doing this, the data will be in a different sheet or different workbook actually. Okay, so now we have does the other sheet need to be kept open? No, I mean like the sheet, as you can see here, the sheet is already available here. It doesn't need to be open. If you're taking it from a different file, yes, you may have certain issues where it will say that the references are missing if that file is not available or if the location changes. So it is better to have data in the same file. It is always safer to have it in the same file. because if you change the position of the file, then we have a problem. Okay. Now we are having very little time. So what I will do is I wanted to do this a simple way. We have a pension and saving. So we have a rule here saying pension and saving will be available for only local employees. Foreign employees will not have that. So to do that, we have if formula. We will say if is equal to foreign, then the value is 10, else it is 0. So pension, or let me add this into one more column to make things easy. So what we are saying is if a person is local, then his pension is to be 10%. If he is foreigner, if he is, I did it the other way around. So as you can see, what I'm saying here is if employee is foreign, then his pension is 0. Otherwise, his pension should be 10%. Okay. Now, what is going to happen is here, this pension fund will be withdrawn or deducted from the salary. So what is the pension and savings amount deducted from the salary? For the foreigner, nothing is deducted. It will be 0 into basic salary percentage. Or sorry, it should be basic salary into pension deduction percentage. So here, as you can see, it's actually deducting and calculating the values based on basic salary. Okay. I just applied the formula, which was multiplying basic salary into pension percentage Did
How will
everybody
you know
get
the
this?
M3%? No, I didn't get H3. You equal sign H3 multiply by L3 percentage. What is that percentage?
Okay, so first thing I did was the rule here is that people who are locals will have 10% deducted as taxes, or it could be anything, like, it depends. We already have deductions in, it could be a savings plan, it could be a, so here we have a pension plan, and the pension plan is only applicable for locals. They will get a 10% deduction from their basic salary, and which will be contributed to their pension and savings plan. So to get that value, what we're doing is we're first calculating or checking if their status is foreign, then they pay 0%. Otherwise, if they're local, they pay 10%. So first we applied the formula here between 0 and 10. So we found out that these employees are all getting 0%. And here, these will get we found out what is the percentage of deduction that has this, for example, to local. It will automatically change his percentage to 10%. Okay. So first I wanted to know the percentage. Now, it is possible I could have done this in one step. For example, I can say I can combine these two formulas. I could have said this here into basic. I could do the same thing. I could have done without having this column. I can combine this saying if employee value E3, which is employee's local or foreign position is foreign, then apply 0%, otherwise 10%, here percentage, and then multiply it by H3.
Oh, okay. You created another column for percentage. No, this is the formula for if you have only one column.
I created a formula for percentage so that you can easily find out the steps, because you see this is having one step formula. I'm also sharing with you. This is one step. So this is one step formula, you know.
Yes.
This one is just one step. So it calculates the percentage and multiplying. But just to make it easy and have clarity, I added one more column. So first I broke it down into two steps. First, I'm calculating this, and then I'm calculating this. So as you practice, you will be able to not just combine two formulas, but you can apply a whole load of formulas where you're looking up things, and it will become a very big formula, and you will get comfortable with it. But at the beginning, break it down into small steps, make it easy.
Yes.
All right. Now this is going to be very basic, very simple. We will calculate the net salary by summing up basic salary plus housing plus transport plus food minus any pensions and savings. So as you can see, we get the amount here.
Will there be recordings for this session?
Sorry?
Will there be recordings for this session because I joined a little late?
I'm not sure if this was recorded today, but I'll find out from the organizers. Maybe we will have the same session, same exercise later. Alhamdulillah. Sorry, excuse me. So inshallah, we will have a repeat of this exercise. And like I mentioned, this exercise is designed like, you know, around a few formulas. Today, it's very easy to go on YouTube and actually get this thing done. This is a nice small case study, which is applying a number of formulas in one sheet, you know. So you could definitely take this file, Google things out, ChatGPT it, find out, and once you start playing with the formulas, you will get comfortable with it. It's like learning a language, you know, you get comfortable after some time, after practice.
But
All
please,
right.
will the worksheet that we have worked on, be sent? Because that one too will help us in doing the practice. Because when you click it, you see how the formula is, then you'll be doing the practice. I'm talking about the worksheet we are working on now.
Okay.
If it could
What
be
I will
sent
do is
to
I'll
us,
try to, it will take a day or two, but I will try to share the formulas as a quick cheat sheet about what we did here. And this will allow you to practice on your own. I'll share this. I'll share the worksheet and I'll share the formula sheet as well.
Okay, Jazakallah khairan.
All right. Now, I think we have already run out of time. This was like supposed to take 2 hours. We've almost crossed 2 hours just now. I will do a quick thing about two more things that we had to do, which was, for example, we have here age. So we have a formula here for, we have the date of birth available here for a number of people. Now we want to calculate the age. Now, again, this is something that is coming from 4. We have a formula here called as date diff. So this is one formula that is there. Now this is commonly useful where we have a date of a person here, 1985, for example, and then we're able to find out what is the age of that person by months, years, and days. So here, this is a formula that is there. Again, I'll share this where we have these date features. Now, this is a simple thing, and it will give you the date for each, like, age of each person. Now we want to calculate the retirement age for people. How do we do that? Is, again, it's very easy. We have a formula which is, for example, this each year is, let's say, 365 days, right? Into age is, let's say, 60 into so this is, sorry, for getting the retirement age, we will calculate based on, we will add to the date of birth 365 multiplied by retirement age, which is 60. So this is how we calculate the retirement age by calculating 60, 68 years, sorry, 60 years from this date. If you want to make it more accurate, then it is calculated by 365.25, which is, number of days in a year. So as you can see, this person will retire on 12th of April, 1945, to 2045. Any questions?
How are you going to share the worksheet and the formulas?
Well, the worksheet and the instruction or the formula sheet, the cheat sheet, I will share it in the groups. I would recommend that you practice this on your own. Try to do the things that we spoke about today. And you know, this is a long journey, and trust me, I'm not an expert into this. Nobody can actually claim to be an expert. Um, Nobody learns this through a training course and other things. The only way you learn is you keep using it. You keep using it every day. You try to learn and you try to say, how can I do this in a better way, faster way? And you keep asking these questions. Um, Make use of resources. I use Google all the time. I use ChatGPT all the time. I'm learning everything, each day. As an example, this formula is the first time I have used it today while I was doing this, because I used to have a different old formula, which was a long way of calculating it. When I checked online, I found a better way, which gave me a better way to actually have a breakdown all the way till the days. We are mostly struggling with calculating ages and all that. So this is the easiest way to do it. Okay. There is another important thing, which was the workdays and workdays international. But anyway, I'll try to include it when the sheet. So if you have any questions or comments, please do let me know. And if there's any feedback on what you think was useful, what do you think we can do better for the next time, please do share your thing. Okay, I'll just close this with one last point. Omafia has asked, how do we print and export as PDF? So we saw this in the last thing, which was we have an option called as print here, right? Now, if you look at this print, it's not the most user-friendly printout that we have. We can see that this is being split into 2 or 3 sheets because the column width has increased significantly. Now, the first thing we need to do is, before we print anything, we generally should put in formatting into this, which is add borders. So now when you try to print it, it will show that it has borders. We don't want to have the first area. So what we do is, in the page layout, we have print area. We have the option of set print area. Okay. As we can see, here we have, now it is coming in 2 pages properly. I'll remove this column, hide it. Okay. And here you can select output as PDF, or you have an option here, save as. And in this save as, you have the option of PDF. So depending on the 2 setups, if you have a Microsoft PDF writer installed on your computer as a printer, or an Adobe PDF writer, then you can do this. Or the easiest way is you do it through Excel. Like if you do this now, it has created the PDF file, and now we have this available. Okay. Now, one more important thing is, when you're doing this, always good to have print titles. So, for example, like let's say now you look at this page, it is having, I need to set the print area again. So as you can see, this page is now having multiple pages, but we are having a problem. What is the problem that we have? We don't have the print titles available. So there is an option here, which is very important. It's called as print titles. And we go and we select rows to repeat at the top is here. This is the row. And we want the columns to be repeated at the left. We want these 2 columns to be repeated. Okay. Now let's look at the print preview. You see this? Now we have print information, but in the second sheet also we can now see employee code name available. All right. Now there is one more important thing that we need to have is here we have header and footer. In print titles, we have the second tab. It is always good to do page numbers that are added to this. So now if we look at the thing, it tells you this is page 1 of 4, 2 of 4, 3 of 4, and 4 of 4. You can adjust the margins from here. And you also have the option, which is very useful, fit all columns in one page or fit all rows in one page. So, but what happens is the size will become small. So you need to play with this and you need to figure this one out. So anyway, like I said, there's many things to be explored here. I will inshallah share with this file, and I hope this was beneficial for you all. So Jazakallah khair. استودعكم الله and then سبحانك اللهم أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. جزاك الله خير.
I think sir नहीं है class में.